giving you homework that's life work, that's forever. You cannot ever succumb or dwell in despair, because despair brings on an acute paralysis that will stay with you sometimes for years, and it hides away like a virus, like an opportunistic virus like chickenpox or HIV/AIDS, whatever the fuck that is, whatever that is. So just don't. You got to be careful. Despair is a spiritual malaise, and if you get caught up in it, you have to be attuned to your identity in order to get yourself out of it. With all the incel talk going around, this is just the dose of purity I need. You have to remember, when you hear that word, incel, it's a spiritual attack. Because even if you're not, even if you're, because you know, I'm not even going to use that. I'll use the word incel, but I'm not going to bother myself with its meaning or with its definition or with anything. Just know that even the fact that that word is being thrown around at all is a direct spiritual attack on you, and is meant to demoralize you, wire sex with shame, and wire sex with their a very tightly controlled society. So when you're feeling black-pilled, man, just know that it's a spiritual attack on you. Now, too risky, I mean spirituality, I mean that, do you see yourself, www, thank you for that subscription. What do those characters mean? I mean acknowledging that you are not your brain, you're not your dick or your genitals or whatever. You're not your feet, you're not your nose for powder, you're not your veins for needles, you're not your brain for a weed. Like, I mean, you can participate in that, but that's not, like, you are not that. You're not your brain's cravings for sex or booze or a needle. I mean, you have those things, but you are not them. That you are not them. Those are physical cravings. So I'm saying, keep the thoughts and the thinking high, outside of fear. Don't stay in there. You do that and you're in hell.
It's important. The only thing you have control over is what you think, and in turn how you feel. Feelings don't come first. That's the biggest misconception. The biggest misconception that people live by is that feelings create thoughts. It's the other way around. If you live by your feelings, you may as well be dead. I am not streaming because I'm happy. I am happy because I am streaming. And that's what it is. You don't get happy and then you do something. You don't get happy and then you write. You don't get happy and then you work out. You don't get happy and then you do this. You do it and then you are happy. Everyone has it the other way around. Remember that. But regret, you should never, ever, 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 not even for one moment, regret anything. That's torture. Regret is torture. There is nothing, there's no purpose regret serves other than self-torture. That's it. This sounds like metric. True positive energy, that's why I'm saying Moonanite, or did you ask me about that? If your brain is working against you, if you're feeling pain, and you're not doing something about it immediately, then you're just your own torturer. And that's the natural state of the human brain. If you let your brain think and do anything you want, anything it wants, guess what it's going to do? It's going to create a torture house for you, and you're going to live in it, and you're going to think it's real, and then you're going to feel it's real, and then you're going to know it's real, and then you're going to live it's real. Then you're fucked. A-Rock, you have to understand something. Your mind makes things real. Your mind makes thoughts real. They make perceived consequences, even if they aren't real, makes them real. It makes fake pressure real pressure. Black pills are not real.
Don't let thoughts fug and reproduce in your mind. That's true. You don't want that because they do. They multiply like cells. Kind of like sexual cells. You know how cells are always having just lots of, you know. Consider that the duty of knowing oneself is primary over even that of putting forth your expression, your definition of yourself, your art, your whatever the hell. Consider that for a moment. Consider that it may be true. How can you put forth your best fruit if you are not put forth within yourself first? Something to take seriously. To be changed, to have the flexibility for change is paramount. Because if you don't even know what you are and what you gravitate towards, and you don't know that you can apply a proactive change, you are truly enslaved. You are enslaved without consciousness, which is the worst. You can choose, you can overtly and consciously choose to, to be beholden to whatever behavior. That's different than not knowing that you are being mastered by it. That's an important distinction. They will only get better within you. The world's never going to get better. Things that are without you are never going to get better. Never. Within you, they have a chance. But outside, never. Things have never gotten better. For the last fucking 1,000 years, things have gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Never have they gotten better. That's not nihilism. That's just understanding that the material realm should not be your standard of happiness. It's your standard of suffering. The inner realm, however, is your standard. Your vibration is your standard. Your silent standard. That is it. Everything that's outside of you, truly evil. Never learn anything, and you will be condemned to either pass it along, pass some sort of an abuse to your own children, or you'll just abuse yourself until you die alone. So don't you ever be waiting to settle some score, because the parents will either be too dead or too old to know what the fuck you're talking about. Not if you're comfortable, it means that you're being ruined and you don't know it. If you're comfortable, it means that something is not right. There's no such thing as comfort unless you've gotten a lobotomy, or unless you're not, I don't know. But for most men, comfort is not in the DNA. It's not. What is in the DNA is transcendence and work and creation and law, order. This is a philosophy. A lot of stuff. Tell me my future. Your future's all used up. What? The platform is completely annihilated. It took a while to recover from that. I didn't know that it was going to move so fast. But when humanity is moving into the age of Aquarius, and when people start waking up, I mean, they would get the pitchforks out and the fucking nooses out and such. So, I mean, that's just what happens. You're going to move fast when it's like that. Just to stay alive. You know, you can't even find the channels that you liked. You can't find the videos that you like. Next thing you know, they never existed. Oh, I thought that was only in dystopia science fiction. Oh, I didn't know that could really happen. Oh, oh.
It's profit. The profit motive. It's just greed. That's it. It's just greed.
What do you think? I'm fucking stupid? Anyway, we need to get that out. It's not greed. It's a force of something else. Greed is meaningless without purpose. Ooh, is that a good point? Oh, Jesus, Dan. Christ almighty. That's really good. It's just purposeless greed. What do they think? I'm a fucking idiot? I'm gonna believe that horse shit? Come on. So don't ever forget. There are incredible forces. That hideous strength is right around the corner. I saw a woman walking around public while wearing a poo emoji onsie. It's sad, isn't it? You go on to Twitter or you're in chat, there's fucking dog shit, there's stinking shit with a smile on your face going into your eyes, feces and shit. Imagine that. Get some good emojis, feces and shit and crap. It's pathetic. This culture is fucking pathetic. Discord. People were talking about Discord before. Imagine the applications are like friends and chat and TeamSpeak and then Discord. The next one's probably going to be rape. Hey, join my rape channel. It's got voice chat, got video chat. What a nightmare. Okay. Oh, it's just the moon. The moon. The moon is getting us. That's so crazy, the implications of Hadron and just quantum, like the phase shifting, whatever that fuck that's called. It's so fucked. It's so crazy to think that. Think of that. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. It's so crazy. That's so crazy. Just remember one thing. Death before downloading yourself to a consciousness. To a digital consciousness. Just remember. Death before that. You remember those times? They're coming when death will flee from you. Those times... Those times are coming, everybody. So be careful. Just make sure that you end your own life before downloading your soul onto a chip. Look, I don't mean that literally. I mean that figuratively. You're better off not being alive than downloading into a chip that's an eternal saint in prison. But the only thing that the devil and Satan wants is you to suffer like it. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of the Bible. That's the whole point of the interloper, mad God, the God that came in between the Creator and this earth, the one that's bughouse crazy, sociopath, sick fuck. The point of a sociopath, sick fuck God is to get you to suffer like it for all eternity. That's the only purpose that it has. The only one. It's not even to subvert a creator. It's to make you suffer like it is. That's the only thing. That's the only purpose it has. That's why I say stay away from it. Oh, music's done. Everything you say, everything you do is fed into Satan. Isn't that cool? Pretty cool, huh? You tell that to anybody, they'd slap you in the face, kick you in the balls, and tell you to kill yourself. I want you to become my son, going into his own man. Not just my son, but another person altogether. Not just my son, you're also your own man. And you remember that 24/7, because I'm not always going to be here. I might be here for the next few decades, but there's gonna come a point where you're actually gonna have to sack up and plan a funeral. Know what I'm saying? So you just remember, this conversation spans eons, time, forever. This is an important conversation, son. Remember this. Become who you are. Become who you want to be and who you should be before you never do. People don't understand how much influence that outside forces have upon you. Not many people really understand that, you know, the quality of their circle really determines the judgment calls that the individual really sort of bounces off to get a second opinion on whatever lifestyle they're doing or whatever the hell decisions they're making. It really is a giant thing. And if you're you know, if you're surrounded by people that hate your fucking guts and they're ready to stab you in the back the first chance they get, then you're gonna feel like walking into traffic and dying. Let me just put it that way. But it is a true thing. You have to make sure that you're not surrounded by people that hate your guts. People that steal from you. People that connive, that would stab you in the back. You also have to make sure you're not surrounded by people that are too stupid to know if what you're doing is not good at all. That someone's not being too nice to you, not telling you that you're screwing up or you're doing something bogus or you're an idiot. I mean, that happens too, Cab. When they think what you're doing is wrong when it is a good act, that happens too. That's why you gotta know yourself. You gotta rely on yourself, sure, but let me put it this way. One is very, very, very lucky to have a really excellent circle of friends. I'm the luckiest in the world to have the friends that I have. The people that I have in my life right now, I am very, very, very lucky to have. Lucky. You have the friends you deserve ultimately, Frederick? Sure. I mean, sure. But I'm lucky to have the quality of friendship in my life. And if I didn't have that, I would be worse. I would be much, much worse. Let that settle for a moment. I'm gonna say that again, okay? I would be much worse without the friends that I have in my life. Think about that for a second. But you really have to make sure you're bringing out the best in the people that you know. You don't want to dwell in the bad. You don't want to have to always be sorting out the bad or making sense of the bad or working. You want the bad is taken care of automatically when you focus on the good. And in that, working to be better at the bad is not dwelling on the bad. It is dwelling on the good that you have yet to attain. It's important that you don't dwell in the, you know, look what's happening, this sucks, like, why is this you know, sometimes you gotta blow off some steam, sure. But you don't want to dwell in the bad. Making the bad, working on what you're bad at, is good. You need to have a handle on what is good and what is bad, and what you're good at and what you're bad at. For that, you have to have a certain level of experience and intelligence. That's sort of rather advanced in this day. You know how shafted you are with all the TV that you watch, the movies, what the messages from there, all the music. You know, you're pretty well sabotaged the second you're born. It takes an incredible amount, relatively, these days, of intelligence to really have a handle on what is on autopilot. It's better to focus on your strengths than to deal with your weaknesses. That is it. Focusing on the good and not dealing with the weaknesses, sure, but there is some sense in approaching your weaknesses and making them better, not dealing with your weakness, but rather working on it. Like, let's say I don't exactly know how to put that into words other than like with drums. If you're right-handed, that's fine. But if you start playing left-handed, or even left-hand lead with still a right-handed drum set up, and left-handed lead, you're going to become completely better in all areas, not just your left hand. That is the strength in not dealing with your weaknesses, but strengthening them. And that's the biggest thing to learn. Not to dwell in it or to make sense of it, but to really put the energy into it. And like if you can't draw, or if you can't do math, if you can't count, if you started doing some math and you started drawing, it would make your strengths even better. That's what I mean by that. That's important. You can't always just be working on your strengths, working on your weaknesses, or only just be working on your strengths. You do have to have a way about them. But if you work on your weaknesses, it will strengthen what you are proficient at. If you do find those people, the ones that hate you, use you, or notice they're taking advantage, what do? Just cut them off? You don't have to do that, man. You just become intelligent and you become less of a resource for them to steal from. The stuff that is abused from you or whatever, you just shut that off. You cannot help anybody unless you yourself are not totally twisted. You can't help people if you're twisted. Don't let anybody steal anything from you or do anything to you. You need to be fortified before you can ever be an example to anybody else. No, you don't want to be teaching someone shit. You teach yourself first. And then, lo and behold, then you know how to conduct yourself. Only when you are blessed with that heightening of your low sense, only when you are heightened do you know how to conduct yourself. Only then. If you're messed up, you're gonna do messed up things. This guy or girl's so messed up, I'm gonna fix him, I'm gonna change him. You end up screwed and in hell. No. You gotta get yourself up before you can bestow anybody else with that mindset. No. Because when you're up, you don't do the things that can sabotage yourself or sabotage someone else. That's why I say when someone's like this, dude, you gotta stand up, you gotta, your everything's been taken from you, dude. Don't you understand? You're being genocided, dude. You see, what people don't understand is that you're not able to understand how to move forward with anything until you're above it. If you're not above it, you will be cut down. You will be cut down by those who are masters of war, masters of warfare. That's why I say that. That's why I don't pretend to know all the answers, and I don't pretend to be teaching everyone how they should fix whatever the hell or fix the world. I don't pretend that, because you cannot teach that. It is a faculty within oneself that is a 1 or a 0. You're either a 1 or a 0. You're either gonna get yourself cut down, or you're going to be above it, and the answers that you're looking for, you will know from yourself. Who believes that, though? You gotta look at the statistics in this place. Look at where the frick are these people. These people are violent. These people, you gotta stop them from ruining the. Think I'm fucking stupid? That's why you don't try to teach people anything at all. because they are either a 1 or they are a 0, and there's nothing you're going to do to change that. Either they're going to have the discipline and take the responsibility, make the effort to actually understand what that even means, or they will be cut down where they stand. There are answers in certain ways, but the answer is you have to still the waters in your own mind. You have to still the waters in your own mind, and you will know the answers. I don't pretend to give the right answers to everything, because someone who would say they have all the answers, someone who is looking to, inseminate your mind with their own philosophy, you gotta watch out for that. It's not about inseminating ideas in someone's mind. It's about awakening the thirst for truth and the thirst for clarity in their selves. These things have to be met halfway. 50% of an idea, 50% of allowing yourself to be open to something contrary to what has been abusing you your whole life. Either someone is going to have that spark within them, or they are not. But you're not going to teach someone the method of what to do. You can only teach someone to truly invest in stilling the waters. If your mind is not cleared, you can be led into a wood chipper. You can be led into a gas chamber. You can be fooled into killing your brothers and sisters. You can be fooled into assassinating someone's character. You can be fooled into murder. If you're fooled into murder, you're still a murderer. But beware of that. There is no rest for the wicked, truly. Even if it is deception, there is truly no rest for the murderer. None. There is only the second death. Know what I say to that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Someone is trying to give you the answers, you know that they're a fraud. If someone is putting forth a philosophy, let's say, I'm not big on philosophy, but philosophy or a mode of thinking or a clarity of thinking that allows you to maybe lead yourself to the truth on your own, that's something different. Someone who's freaking showing you statistics, these people, they're violent, they're animals, that's what they want. You know they're a piece of fucking trash. Doesn't mean that they're trying to ruin you or ruin the world. It just means that they're fucking morons. Good intentions. You can pave a whole lot of hell with good intentions, right? You can pave so much hell with your good intentions, you can be cut down where you stand. Just like that. And everyone would piss on you. So anyone who's like, we're part of this outside crew. Frickin', we're proud. I'm gonna tell you, you guys are shit. You gotta stand up for your frickin' whatever the hell. These people are trying to eliminate you. You can be sure that, first of all, they're getting paid a lot of money. First of all, they're getting paid big. First of all. Second of all, what does it do? What does it do? Look at the world right now. You see how it gets worse and 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 worse no matter what you do? Now you see? It's not meant to get better. Those who are the outsiders. See, I say things that you're afraid to say. Because I'm fucking cool like that. And maybe if I get you to say it, your life can be ruined too. Except that I make a lot of money.